Welcome to the 707, a weekly half-hour program produced by KRCB, a service of NorCal Public Media. The 707 features voices and stories from your community, stories that highlight generosity, and stories that show how we are connected to each other. I'm your host, Michelle Marques, and I don't know about you, but it seems like the holiday season got here in the blink of an eye. But some of us plan well in advance for the time of giving, including those at the Center for Volunteer and Nonprofit Leadership.
Actually, I start thinking about Christmas in August.
That's Lauren Oblad, event coordinator at CVNL, who is showing me around their offices as they prepare for the Secret Santa program. There's a sea of tote bags in front of her desk.
So all of these bags, we're getting ready for all of our elves to come and pick stuff up. If you're a paid sponsor, you get a dedicated volunteer for the Secret Santa season. And so we call those our volunteers elves. So we have special elves that are ready to come in and pick up all of their hearts and stuff for their sponsor locations.
So each of these bags, they have a label on the front. What else is in these bags? Can you show me?
Yes. So in these bags are all of the heart wishes in here. There's just a little note there for elf duties, what the elf is responsible for. There's all the heart wishes in here for all of their different locations. Some elves do 1 location, some do 4, some do 5. They'll also be getting a poster and a window cling and an easel to display the poster for the sponsor location.
Okay. So do each of these sites then have like a tree, or how do they display the hearts?
Yes, each of these places actually have a tree. Some of them have their own Christmas tree, and some have our little 3-foot metal display tree where they can display like 18 hearts at a time.
Okay, great. And I also see, I don't know how many bags of sort of fluffy plush toys. What are these?
Yes, so we get a donation every year from PetSmart. They give us these holiday little toys over here, and we give those out to kids during the season.
Can you show me some of them?
Yep. So this year, every year, there is a set of like 6 different toys. And so this year we have a dog and a cat and a penguin. There's an owl in here. There's a reindeer. I think there's another dog in here. And they're so much fun because they squeak. And, you know, the other people that like these toys are some of our seniors who are in like nursing homes. They're soft and they love that they squeak, and so they just think it's just so fun, and they sit there and cuddle these and squeak them and laugh.
Oh, they're really soft.
They are. They're very soft, very cuddly, and they all have...
Oh, they've got a year on there.
A year on there, yes.
Oh, that's great. These are wonderful. And these are tons of bags. What do you got, like 8 different bags here, it looks like?
Yes, I've got 8 bags of stuffed animals, and there will be more coming.
An effort of this magnitude takes months to organize and execute.
Things start they've been ramping up for a while, but all of our hearts and letters will be online on November the 24th. So we're trying to get all of our sponsor locations out so they can start displaying stuff before Thanksgiving.
Tell me about the Center for Volunteer and Nonprofit Leadership.
We help other nonprofits better themselves. We have different workshops and stuff if you are looking to better your nonprofit through our learning and leadership. We also house our Sonoma County Paratransit Department, where we get clients rides. We do have court-referred community service in here as well. And then it also houses our Secret Santa program.
Oblad says the Secret Santa program really starts in the summer.
In August, we start registering all of our nonprofits. And then at the beginning of September, we have their nonprofit training. And so we go through what Secret Santa entails, some of the rules for Secret Santa, just like how much, like a monetary level that you can ask for a gift for. And then all of their heart wishes are actually due by the beginning of October. Okay. So we think about it for a long time, and we need their gift wishes in by the beginning of October because we start printing out all of our hearts and all of our tags. And then we have heart parties. That's what we call them. So we have different organizations that sign up and put together all of our hearts and tags. So it takes them a while to put it all together. Then those come back into the office. And as you can see, we have lots of hearts around here because once they come back into my office, then we also have to sort them by age. Because some organizations, you know, just like the kids or the seniors. And so it's just an easier way for us to organize everything. And this year we have over 13,000 heart wishes in our system this year.
How does that compare to previous years?
It's about the same as previous years, actually. So usually we have somewhere between 13 and 15,000 heart wishes every year.
Can we look at some of these wishes?
Yes, we can.
All right, let's go look.
Yeah, so we can look at all of these wishes. They're separated out by age, so we can Like pick this one up here out of the 0 to 5 bucket. And here is a 2-year-old toddler, and they just want dinosaurs and toddler books. Here's a little 3-year-old who wants Max and Ruby, and some more toddler books. And then we can reach way down here, and we can find a 76-year-old senior who just wants a gift card for Safeway and a warm blanket for Christmas. I think the oldest heart that I've seen so far is 100 years old.
100 years old?
100 years old, yes. So Secret Santa is the only program in Sonoma County that serves all ages. We just don't do kids. We just don't do seniors. We do everybody. And the biggest age group we have this year is the 12 to 19-year-olds. Because you can see this bucket's almost full, and then they overflow.
Oh, wow. Yes.
Over there. Yeah. So it's those teenagers that are hard to buy for. They're the biggest. Yeah. The biggest group of kids so far.
Can you show me some examples of what these teens like?
Yeah. So we have a 15-year-old here who wants a mini projector and an Amazon gift card. We've got another one over here that just wants shirts and leggings and another gift card. Here's one. They want a coat and a hair iron, typical teenage things. Water bottles, curling irons, gift cards and lots of them in here need clothes.
Right. When you look at what these people are requesting for gifts, does it surprise you that they want some sort of like basic things like a curling iron, like clothes?
It actually doesn't surprise me. Secret Santa is a needs-based program, and so all of our agencies that are registering their clients know that these are things that people need. These aren't things that people want. So when I look through here, I always feel like I want to help every single one of these people that come through, because some of these people, they just want a coat, or they just want a curling iron, or some food. A lot of us can just go to the store and buy a new curling iron, can go buy some food if we're hungry, and a lot of these people can't. A lot of the teenagers, are requesting gift cards and stuff too, but a gift card is great too, because then they can go and buy their own things, and then they have a choice whether they, what they want to spend it on. So it just gives them some dignity to go buy something that they really want to buy.
What is the dollar amount? You talked about that a little bit earlier. So what is sort of the range that you let these organizations know that what they can ask for?
Yeah, so we try to keep it under $40 to $50. So we don't like them to ask for anything over that, because we don't want to put a burden on the public either. So we want to get as many of these hearts adopted as we can. We do let them put, like winter coats and bikes. We know that those sometimes are over that amount, so they're okay asking for bikes and winter coats.
Do you get a lot of coats and bikes?
Yes, actually, we get a lot of bikes. Friedman's Home Improvement, they buy bikes for us every year. And so we actually have a team of bike people. So Friedman's buys the bikes for us, and they go to GNC Auto Body. And GNC Auto Body builds all the bikes for us. There's about 130, I think, bikes this year that we got. And so GNC builds those bikes, and then they come back to Heart Central. And then we have another team of bike volunteers at Heart Central that just go through the bikes one more time just to make sure the brakes are working and all of those are working. And then we pick hearts out of here and match them to the bicycles that we've purchased. And then there's still more bikes in here that people just from the public also buy and drop off to us as well.
These are all organized, all of these heart wishes. Then they go out to the different organizations, and then what happens?
So once they go out into the public, we do have a list online, secretsantanow.org. You can go look at sponsor locations, and you can see where they are around town. So the public will come in, and they will look at the tree and see what's there. We try to give sponsors a good range of ages, from like 0 up to so there's not just like the 12 to 19-year-olds on a tree. There's a good mix. And so somebody from the public will come up, and they will read a heart on the tree, and they'll see a name that says Audrey, and there's also a description on there. It says brilliant and resilient foster youth. And maybe this one just speaks to you. She wanted a curling iron and a gift card. And so the public, whoever adopts this heart, will buy the gift, wrap it up, and on the back, there is a little barcode sticker back here. So you'll wrap the gift, you'll peel this off, you'll stick it back on the gift, and then it goes either back to the location that you picked the heart up from, or you can actually drop it off at any sponsor location. It does not have to go back where you picked it up from. And then all of our Secret Santa elves that I was talking about earlier, they're actually during the season going back to these sponsor locations, refilling hearts if they need to be refilled. They're picking up the gifts, and they're taking them back to our big warehouse. And in our big warehouse, we then take these hearts and we separate them out by agency. There's a code on the back, and then our agencies are coming and picking up gifts. And Heart Central is big and it's fun. There's just lots of gifts and music and lots of fun volunteers there helping out our program.
So how many organizations are you working with?
This year I'm working with over 80 different organizations. And like I said, they had 13,000 wishes, but the big core part of Secret Santa that I always like to point out is our volunteers. My coworker and I were the only 2 paid staff for Secret Santa. Everybody else is a volunteer. And last year we had over 450 volunteers with over 4,000 volunteer hours. And so without our volunteers, we could not do and serve the people in the community that we do without our volunteers.
Are they starting in August as well, or when does the volunteer time start?
So we start signing up volunteers at the beginning of October. And actually, we are full of volunteers this year already. We actually have a wait list. We have so many people that want to volunteer that we have a wait list this year, which is amazing that so many people from the community want to help out.
In the next segment of the 707, Oblad explains more about the Secret Santa program at the Center for Volunteer and Nonprofit Leadership, as well as additional ways they support Sonoma County. This is KRCB.
KRCB is Sonoma County's NPR station. Wondering what makes us stand out? It's simple, our unwavering commitment to this community. Morning Music, hosted by Brian Griffith, sets the perfect tone for your day.
Brian here with you on Sonoma County's NPR station.
As the sun climbs high, join Doug Jane for Midday Music.
Doug Jane with you, thanks for tuning in.
It's the soundtrack of Sonoma County. Then, stay informed with All Things Considered, featuring insightful reporting from the KRCB newsroom, ensuring you're always in the loop.
For Manzana, the company that helped keep Sebastopol's famous Gravenstein apple alive, their 103rd year in business will be their last.
Your home for the best in local news and music. Because when the community sings, we're here to listen. Your radio, your stories, your station. KRCB 104.9, Sonoma County's NPR station.
Welcome back to the 707 on KRCB. I'm your host, Michelle Marques. Today we're chatting with Lauren Oblad at the Center for Volunteer and Nonprofit Leadership about the Secret Santa program. She says that volunteers love to help spread holiday cheer.
They are just excited to help people in the community and get presents and, go drop them off because it's just the Christmas spirit. Everybody just loves that feeling of helping during the holidays and, this is the way that they can help out.
What happens if a heart wish is on a tree, someone from the public takes it, and then maybe forgets or the deadline passes and they don't get that gift? What happens?
So what happens to that is we have a great inventory system, so we know where the hearts are at all times. And so when towards the end of the season, we're able to do like a little printout and we can tell which hearts haven't been adopted or if they're coming back unfulfilled. We actually have another team of shoppers down at Heart Central. And so we will take those unfulfilled hearts and we send our shoppers out to see if they can find something for them.
Right. And where does the funding come for shopping?
The funding from shopping comes from our donors. We have lots of Secret Santa donors. You can go online and donate at secretsantanow.org, and any funds we get go towards buying gifts for these people.
If you can't or don't have time to go out and do shopping for a specific gift, you could still just go online to make a donation.
Yes, you can. And also on all of our trees, not only will you see the hearts, we also like to put red envelopes on the trees. So you can also pull one of those red envelopes off the tree and stick a donation in there. They get mailed right back here to the office. And then you can, donate that way as well.
About how much do you get in cash donations?
So I'm looking at my stats from last year. So last year with our sponsors and our donors, we raised over $416,000 for our program. And so as you can see last year, looking at that, we helped over 19,000 people last year with 22,000 gifts. We had 722 volunteers with over 4,000 volunteer hours. And we had 192 tree locations last yeer.
Is it too late to request a tree?
It is not. So if you want to sponsor or, you can just call me here in the office. You can email secretsanta@cvnl.org and I can get you a tree and hearts.
And when you say sponsor, do you need to pay for hosting a tree? How does that work?
Yes. So most of our sponsor locations are paid sponsors. We do have a few community sponsor spots that are open. If you just can't, if it's just not in your budget to sponsor, you can talk to me, and then, we'll discuss being a community sponsor. And then if you are a community sponsor, you're responsible for picking up your own hearts and returning your own gifts to our office. And that's just one of the perks of being the paid sponsor. Plus you get some, social media shout outs, and you're included in our advertising. But if you're a community sponsor, then you're just responsible for picking up the hearts, returning all the gifts, and doing that yourself.
Can you find one of these hearts online, or do you need to go to a location?
You do not need to go to a location. We actually have them online at secretsantanow.org. There's a tab up there that says Adopt a Heart. And so on November the 24th, we will have those posted up there as well. So you can search by age, you can search by gender. And so we get lots of hearts adopted online as well.
And I see that on some of these you do have a name for the person. Is it appropriate to write a holiday card for that person, or do you not want that?
You can write a holiday card for that person, because all you'll see is the name. There's no other identifiers on there. So if you pick, little Cindy Lou and you want to write her a card, you could put, Dear Cindy Lou, I hope you like this gift, and you can sign your name.
Do you ever have to wrap gifts that show up unwrapped, or does that happen?
Yes, we do. We have to wrap gifts that show up unwrapped. Or the other thing we do with a lot of our wrapping is if we are sending out our shoppers and they're coming back with gifts, then we have a whole team who's wrapping gifts at Heart Central as well for all the gifts that are coming back from our shoppers.
That would be a job that my sister would love. She's an expert rapper.
Yes, I know. That is always fun, is to be there wrapping. One time we had just last year, just a whole group of people back there wrapping, and they were talking and laughing and just having a great time helping people. And not only do we have the hearts online, but we also have letters online. And those letters are for a bigger ask than that $50 wish. And so we do have online, if you go to secretsantanow.org, we have another tab called Adopt a Letter. And those letters, some of them are families who they all might need clothes or food. I have a letter in my system right now who is a formerly homeless person who is now housed, and they just want a dresser. They want someplace to put their clothes. Got families on there who are needing food, other people who are needing clothes. So that's just another avenue. I've had people who get together with their friends and they adopt a letter, and everybody pools their money in and helps to adopt a letter.
This is not your warehouse, but do items come here?
Yes. So if you were to come here, at the beginning, in the middle of December, I have gifts from the door all the way back here to my desk. And I just have this little trail to get to my desk because it is full. Yeah. It is really full. Over here, we have some donated quilts from the Santa Rosa Quilt Guild. They donate quilts to us every year. There's about 40 here, and we like to save those for our seniors. So they'll get, and a lot of seniors just want a blanket. So they'll get this and a box of chocolate for Christmas. And then we're, like I said, preparing for all of our elves. So we're getting all of our trees together here, our metal display trees.
Oblad shows me around the rest of the building, which also houses the court referral program for those who have mandated community service hours. And the Center for Volunteer and Nonprofit Leadership also runs the Sonoma County Paratransit Department, helping people schedule transportation to and from doctor appointments. We stopped by an office to get more information on what CVNL does throughout the year, not just during the holiday season.
Yes, my name is Gaby Bermudez, and I'm the Volunteer Services Manager.
Tell me what kinds of things that volunteers do.
Yeah, our volunteers support our local nonprofits here in Sonoma, but also in Solano, Napa, and Marin counties. We provide an online volunteer portal where volunteers can come in and look for opportunities that our nonprofit leaders put on the website. And then we also host Days of Service in alignment with the AmeriCorps Days of Service schedule. We celebrate things like Earth Day, MLK Day, Cesar Chavez Day, and provide catered volunteer opportunities in our various counties as well.
How many people come through to volunteer?
It depends on the county and on the activity. We've had, groups as small as 10, and in Solano County, for example, we've had opportunities where we get up to 300 volunteers. We actually have one this weekend, Operation Gobble Gobble. We're distributing almost 3,000 turkeys to the residents of Solano County, and that takes, in total, about 350 volunteers, 50 for packing day and 300 for distribution day.
How far in advance do organizations need to reach out to you to get the volunteers lined up?
Yeah, well, our volunteer portal is completely free for our nonprofits to use. It's really about how much time they want, to be able to recruit and to meet their volunteer needs. For days of service, collaborations, and partnerships, we do work on those a few months in advance.
Oblad and I let Gaby get back to her work, and she explains how she got into this role at the CVNL.
I love Secret Santa. It's my favorite thing. This is my 5th year doing Secret Santa. I was a volunteer before. That's how I got back, got to work here in the office, was I just volunteered, and they were hiring one time. And so I applied and got hired, and I love it. Love Secret Santa. My favorite program. I just love to help people in general, so this is right up my alley. I actually got another call from a grandmother who was wondering when the hearts were going to be out on trees because she takes her grandkids. And so she herself and her grandkids each pick a heart, and then they go shopping together, and they wrap it together, and they turn it in together. Just a fun family thing because the grandma's trying to teach the kids to help out in their community. She does other volunteer things with her grandkids as well. And it's something they look forward to every year, actually.
The footprint for who you're helping, is it only Sonoma County, or where does the hearts reach to?
It is only Sonoma County. It's just Sonoma County local. So all of our organizations, everything is just in Sonoma County.
That's kind of tough to think about. 13,000 gifts and it's only Sonoma County?
Yes, I know. It breaks my heart every year to read all these hearts as I'm going through them and trying to organizing them by age or whatever. And I start reading these and I just want to help every single one of them just because I know that everybody is in need.
Learn more at secretsantanow.org. I'm your host and producer of this program, Michelle Marques. This show is a service of NorCal Public Media. Our president and CEO is Darren Lachelle.